Hello, this is Living Room Request. This is Matt Redman.
Patricia Hammond.
And this is another one for Tessa, alongside another version with Rupert and Olga.
That'll be linked in the description.
And we'll explain all the details
this
later.
This is the oud.
So it is. I studied Shakespeare when I was at school, thought Romeo was a pet, felt if I met him I'd act like a fool, I'd be a poor Juliet. Now that I know him I'm not really sure, boy you're as charming as he, saying the same things to all the girls, or is it just to me? Studied Shakespeare when I was at school, thought Romeo was a joy. I like the true way he loved Juliet, just my ideal of a boy. You know I like you as my Romeo, that's how I want you to be. But if you're out on some other date, can you be true to me? Folks, is called. Oh,
hold that for a nice thumbnail.
That is what you call banjo head percussion. So he told me. Banjo head percussion. It raises people's expectations. They think, oh, she's going to play the banjo. We didn't know she's hiding her talents. Not at all. I do the contrary. This I only know the one rhythm, as you may, if you really are very thorough on this channel, you will have seen Lena, the Queen of Palestina, which we have another film of, but I daren't share it now because people will think I'm making a political statement.
No, just wait.
So it sits there unlisted, but one of these days, when goodness knows. Anyway, so yeah, I have done this before on that one song.
Listen, once you got Ayub, you don't need anything else, do you?
That's the one rhythm.
That's it.
I was
You're
joking.
away.
I was joking that I have the Associated Board of Royal Schools of Music's diploma, grade 3 banjo head percussion merit. Where do I put it?
You can just put it here.
You put it where you want it.
Okay, so tell us about Sophia.
Oh yes, this is very interesting. Well, Tessa's requests are, and by the way, Tessa, I don't adequately express myself on emails because you know how the world is. You're sitting in front of your computer and you have so many things to do in modern life in front of a computer. So you end up not getting around to the things you want to do. And anyway, Tessa has both my
the
book.
Smoke machine.
Oh, excellent.
For anybody who remembers the smoke machine.
I don't think it's visible.
Okay. No, it's actually a humidifier.
It's a humidifier.
Carry on.
So Tessa has bought a copy of my She Wrote the Songs book and also my husband's book, Spare Parts. And this, believe it or not, this is incredible. I mean, Matt said, why would she do that? But it's very, very much, wow, I'm very impressed. And, thank you. Wow, that's very impressive. The thing is with Tessa, she is one heck of a well-informed person, and she continues to be intrigued and interested in things and gaining more and more and more and more interest. And every request is a well thought out. And so particularly having this sort of concurrent with Olga and Rupert doing the same or different versions of the same tune. So this tune, that was 1960 something or other with Petula Clark, only one recording, now two, a Romeo. But the
Which,
actual...
by the way, stayed in the top 50 for 17 weeks.
Amazing.
Of summer and
Which
fall
year?
1961.
Oh, 61.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Well, in 1920, Robert Stolz, who wrote a number of things, wrote this Orientalisches Lied. And actually, the sheet music, I'm going to see if I can put on Instagram the sheet music cover of this, because actually I had it as a poster.
Right.
In my last, the two places back, I actually had it on my closet door. The sheet music for this particular, the cover for this particular number, because I like the look of it. And it's, Orientalisches Lied, 1920, Robert Stolz, and the words, it's got 3 verses in the original German, which are basically this Viennese, I guess he's studying ancient civilizations, and he's a student from Vienna in the desert, and he's going through the desert, and he sees Salome doing this amazing dance, and he's overcome with this delirium, and one very intoxicating night in his tent, the two of them... Yeah, it's very explicit, this song. It's very, very, it's amazing.
Check it out. Much more recorded than this,
And it's quite morbid, because the next morning he wakes up and she's being stoned to, will I be demonetized if I say the word DEATH?
You can't say it.
You can't say it? Well, anyway, it's very harsh. Her punishment for having, gone into the tent of this Viennese foreigner. Anyway, so it's quite the song. Very popular anyway, and it was immediately popular in Poland, and the
Polish yes, we'll have that.
Zofia Bajkowska made words about the same time, which are all about, it takes away all the tent and the student and all of that and the harsh consequences, and it talks
it's about 1920s merriment.
Yes.
Would you say?
Yes, well, you can see Olga sing it, and Olga always translates things herself and puts them in the description. She's a very, very thorough person. But more or less, Salome's foxtrot music plays the party frenzy in full swing. It has some magic. It brings us intoxication, sensual frenzy.
She'll write it even better.
Yeah, basically, it talks about how Salome's foxtrot is just incredibly wonderful. So And then in the 60s,
Which is
it
a very
became...
1920s thing to say.
Yeah, and then in the 60s, it's all about Romeo, you know, the teen heartthrob. So there you go.
Check out that Petula Clark record.
Different
it's an
eras.
unusual one.
It doesn't feature the
It
oud.
has a lot of male chorus members, including like
It's
quite
very
bass
funny.
heavy with very low
They're
singing.
like, Romeo. They're in love with him too. It's very funny to listen to.
It's very unusual.
Tell them.
Well, it's not. Sorry, it's not unusual for
It's just funny
late
to think
50s,
of.
early 60s popular record.
Well, yeah,
at
you
all,
usually
but
have a
it
sort
just
of
is in that
female
context.
chorus doing
Yeah.
that sort of thing. You
This
tell
is the oud.
tell us why you chose that.
Well, because it's an Oriental foxtrot, Oriental song foxtrot, which was quite a trope in the late 1910s, 20s. Really took off, obviously, after the Egyptian mania. Egyptomania, sorry.
Yeah.
We
love a bit of exoticism.
well, this is a Syrian oud in a Turkish classical, Arabic classical tuning. But, well, it's an oud, you know, I'm sure many people know them. It's the Arabic word for wood, oud. And it's the precursor to the lute, which obviously it looks very similar. Lute is the Latinization of the Arabic word oud. And it's a very different instrument in the sense that the tuning's slightly different. The scale length and whatnot is slightly different. But one of the key features of the 11-string oud that you see throughout the Arabic world is you have these strings in what we call courses, pairs, 2, 2, 2, 2.
Horses for courses.
And the bottom one's usually a single string, usually. In some Iraqi ouds it's double, but it's a single string, and that's to allow a retuning of the string for the drone, for the key
Different
that you're
keys.
in. And I hope I took advantage of that, because the standard tuning for this is all fourths. The standard tuning that I'm using is all fourths, and the bottom string is usually bum, da, dum, dum, but it's tuned at semitone higher because we're playing in this C minor.
To this day,
It's a bit confusing when you constantly retune the string and how you remember which
to
note
this
you're.
day, I don't know how you calculate that in your head. When I first met Matt, he instantly started retuning things, and I just sort of was agog and went, "How can you know how to finger it? If you just
Well, I can't
retuned."
finger everything like super complicated. I don't think I could play if I just constantly retune
Could've
the oud,
fooled me.
playing like a Bach 2-part invention like perfectly probably, but.
Yeah, you'd have to practice.
You know, in folk music, it's
Imagine
okay. And that's why you'll find 11 strings on the oud. And I think that's enough about that. This one's a particular.
That's
So
enough
this
of
is
that.
probably though it's not the highest quality instrument from the factory. I mean, it is handmade in Syria.
You paid
it's
extra
quite
to have
hot.
it.
The ribs always crack at the back, you know, because they're so thin. But I had these they're called planetary tuners. And so the tune, the tuning gear stays the same, and the inside of the tuner rotates around, and you can not play it for several months and it doesn't go out of tune. Right.
Thank you so much, and do check out Olga and Rupert's version.
Please do.
And if you come from Olga and Rupert, welcome.
If you can't find Olga and Rupert's channel link below, just search for Mr.
Kirby.
Just Mr.
That doesn't
Kirby.
necessarily get you.
Well, just search for Mr. Kirby Olga,
Yeah.
and then that'll definitely come up with his channel.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I
that
searched
does
the other
help
day.
it. Yeah.
Mr. Kirby
good.
Olga. And if you can't link it, if you're on the smart TV, for example, and you want to say, what is this like in Polish? Then you'll find out.
Not every Mr. Kirby has an Olga. There you go.
There is only one. Right, see you later. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Tessa.
And if you haven't already, do click subscribe and thumbs up on this video,
Oh, that'd
because
be
it
good.
really does help.
It does.
Bye-bye.